Hello, all you miniatures lovers out there on the interwebs. I'm Doc Eon. Today is Monday, the 12th of July, 2021, and I'm here to ramble about miniatures. It's been a week since I saw you last, and I have actually finished a lot of stuff. I couldn't even fit in one shot, so there's going to be two clips for the intro this week. First off, we have the so-called Urban Achievers. These are all the minis that are actually the Big Lebowski without naming names. So we have three different versions of the dude up in front. Two of them very similar. They're slightly different colors on the bathrobes, and they're holding different things. I've been fairly film accurate. I took some liberties with Jesus here, because in the movie he's completely monotone. He has the same violet tone on everything. The suit, the shirt, and the shoes. I decided to vary it up and have a couple of different colors, just because in miniature form it looks too flat and boring if it's just one single color all the way through. But yeah, other than that, everything is pretty much as accurate as I could make it with my sort of color sense, such as it is. And yeah, I'm pleased with the results. They were not that terribly difficult, but they were fun. I rediscovered that I kind of like painting modern miniatures. They're in some ways easier than fantasy, because the clothing is, well, to my mind, simpler and more logical, and they don't have a lot of belts and straps and pouches and scabbards and stuff messing the miniature, messing the sculpt up and complicating things. So that's easier. But yeah, they are done. And I also finished these four. So my grand total for this week is 17 models completed. That's possibly a record for this year. I don't exactly remember. So the two on the left are from Reaper. We have just a simple female warrior, sort of knight. She's called the War Maiden. I don't know why she has open-toed sallies, but you know, at least there's no boob window. And I painted her shield in just the colors I happened to have on my palette at the time. I came up with this sort of striped scheme. I don't know. It looks kind of weird. Not really medieval, but not really heraldic. But oh well. It's good enough. Then we have the Bugbear Chieftain. Turned out a little dark. A little samey with the fur and the skin. I really wanted the fur to be more orangey. It turned out more reddish brown. But you know, these things happen. He'll stand out from the pack, so you can see he's a leader, maybe. Then we have from Hassle-Free Miniatures, Titania and Oberon. These are kind of experiments. With Oberon here, the experiment was trying to make a deep bronzed skin tone that still has some highlights. And, well, now it gets some highlights just from reflection because I did not matte it down. I just gave it one shot of Army Painter matte over the gloss, and that leaves kind of a satin finish. So that sort of helps. But otherwise, I don't know. At arm's length, it looks okay. We'll have to see how it looks in the still pics. Now, Titania, she's taking a bath. So the experiment here is trying to add water effects to the base without overpowering it completely, without disguising the rocks, still making it look like there's water on the top. That was really difficult, and I don't think I fully managed it. But if you can tell, the blue color is not actually paint. The blue you can see is not painted onto the rocks, but the blue is from a sort of acrylic gel, water effect gel that I used, and I mixed that with a clear acrylic because the base, the blue stuff, which is a water effect from Vallejo, looks solid when it dries. If you use just that, that's what I used on. I did a sea snake a few weeks back, and I did kind of a water base with little waves in it. That's the material I used for that. But I diluted it with a clear acrylic here to get a sort of a translucent light blue color. I don't know if I should have gone heavier with it. And I left her a satin finish as well, because in her case, because she's supposed to be wet. And of course she's solid. But, you know, we experiment and we try to learn new things. That's how we grow as painters. Anyway, let's move on to works in progress. So out of the models that you saw started last week, we only have one holdout, one remaining unfinished guy, and it's this Angel, Reaper Bones Solar, which is a D&D Angel. And he's like half finished, I would say. Yeah, I just didn't. He wound up at the back of the queue, but I'll finish him up before next episode. Don't you worry. But I, of course, have more stuff to paint. Let's look at that. Well, these, as you might guess, are the Malifaux miniatures that I showed you in their boxes last week. And we can see that some of them have been prepped and primed. And a few, namely the two big ones, the avatars, have not been. I've simply taken them out and I'm starting to think about prepping them. I have looked up that the Lady Justice avatar is not supposed to be on a lot of small bases. It's supposed to be on one big base, 150mm round lip base. So yeah, dry fitting seems to indicate that some of these pieces don't fit together perfectly. Well, part of it because there's some flashing here, but there's going to need to be some gap filling, I suppose. Bringing out the old green stuff. But yeah, that should be doable within the next few days. And like I said, these guys, all of these guys are just ready to go right away. You can start putting paint on them, you know, right this minute. Well, stuff has started to appear in the mail, including this Kickstarter that I backed in a moment of weakness. I promised myself I wouldn't back any more Midlam stuff, even though I like their sculpts and they're fun, but, you know, I just buy a lot of stuff I don't need, and also they're from the UK, so it's more expensive these days. However, this one, not sure if you can tell from the art, but this is the Sisters of the Kraken Cult Kickstarter. So this is a follow-up to two previous Kickstarters about the Kraken Cult, I believe. Maybe three? No, I think it's just two. And I had the previous ones, so of course I need to complete my set. So there's a bunch of stuff here. There's the actual sisters, which are these tentacle cultists, except female. Not that you can tell much difference. This one has a bit of a booty, but otherwise, I don't know. We'll see once I unpack them all, how much of a difference there is. Oh, here's some bases. That's good. But there was a combo. They also had fish folk. We have essentially deep ones, or Kuotoa, or, you know, something like that. So we got a bunch of those, and we have some sort of other Cthulhuoid monster, like a slimy tentacle with a mouth, or maybe a shoggoth, or, well, who knows. It's a grand total of 18 models in any case. So that's a lot of stuff. Though I can, to a certain extent, production line them. The sisters, I think there's 10 of these, are like all going to be in the same color scheme. So that's going to go relatively quickly. And yeah, I mean, there's no time like the present. Best to get started right away. Here we have an idea for a color scheme. This is not what I'm going to do. Maybe with the tentacles, maybe because the previous cultists I did with teal or aquamarine robes and really dark blue hoods and purple tentacles. So I don't know. Maybe I could go more whitish, or this is sort of pinkish white. That might be an interesting look. Don't know if I want to change up the color of the robes. Maybe I'll change it to make these look different, but not go to red. I think I want to stay in the blue, green, black range, but you know, I'll think about it. I'll experiment a bit and see what I do. Yeah. These are getting put in the queue right away. I'm going to start prepping them right away. So, will there be a midweek ramble this week? I don't know. I can't promise anything. I'd say it's a 50-50 chance. So you'll just have to keep your eyes open. Keep an eye out for new videos from me at the very latest next Monday. Same day of the week, same channel, same document. For now, just give me a thumbs up and watch me sign off.